Sometimes players will have identity issues. Let's get on it. Hello, I am Mark and I paint Corinthians, and this is the last time that I am going to make a video that's basically the same as a video that I made before I knew how to make videos. So just bear with me for this one, and then there's new stuff on it. One of the things you'll notice about your old Corinthian Pro Start and Headliner figures is that they have the name of the player cut into the base like this. It is something I have always liked about the figures. I think it is higher quality and looks better than on fan favourites and on Soccer Stars where they print the name on, but it does give you a problem if you are wanting to use a figure to make someone else. In the past I've used Peter Lovenkrands to make Ross McCormack, I've used Mark Steen to make Sean Gota, loads and loads. I've used it when people have said, oh, this figure looks like my mate, can you change it into him? And obviously you can put the right name and number on the back and put the right kit on it, but if you don't do anything about that base, it'll still have the wrong name on it. I tried solving this a number of different ways in the past. One different way. One is a number. I tried to put paint in there, filled it with paint, but that got a bit messy and it never really filled it very well. People have spoken to me in the past about using clay to cover the name on the original base. People have talked to me about trying to even melt it, but I found something much easier, which is using just polyfiller, which you can get from your sort of standard DIY shop. Use that to fill the base of a figure, and yeah, then you can paint over it after it's dried, print the new name on yourself, and then you'll have your new figure without his identity crisis. Here is, oh, who is it? It's Marco Gianni, and it is being made into Sergio Goyachea, I think that's how you say his name, an Argentinian goalkeeper from way back when. I've already started painting it. You can see he's wearing a white shirt, but I thought actually it's better to fill the base before you do the full repaint, just in case you get a little bit messy and you don't want to ruin a paint job that you've been working on. So yeah, he's the subject of today's figure. When I made this last time, I just kind of sat there doing this. You won't really be able to see it. Couldn't see it very well on that video, so I'm going to do it in first person, if you will, so you can see it a little bit better. Let's go. As you can see, I find the easiest way is to just get a bit on your finger. You don't need too much, and press it into all of the letters. Do it carefully so you don't leave any gaps. And then when you finish, just give it a rub over to make sure it's nice and smooth, and make sure you haven't left any on the top or the bottom to keep it neat. You will not believe how many attempts it's taken me to record this little 10-second link. So what I'll just say is, when you've put your polyfiller in, make sure you leave it to dry before you paint over it, otherwise the paint will go chalky. And that's it, I'm done. Next clip. Still having some issues with the camera angle. Also some with the lighting. Obviously I need to be able to see what I'm doing clearly, and I don't want making videos to compromise the quality of the painting that I'm doing. So that's something for me to have a think about. But here you can see I'm just painting the base. I tend to stick to green. Some people like other colours. You could do silver or gold. Some people even do club colours. But if you are doing green, Humbrol number 101 is pretty close. If you want it to be even more close, you might need to add a tiny bit of black, but like I say, I'm happy with it. I just do it over the name that I've done. I do it all the way around the edge to make sure that that matches, and sometimes put it on the top as well. You can see I'm doing that now to make sure the top matches the colour of the front of the base, if that makes sense. Once you've finished painting, make sure you leave it to dry and then decide what you're going to do next. Some people are happy just to have no name on the base. I've seen some people have painted or tried to write the name onto the base. I use a decal for it to print the name on. I think it'd be neater than the handwriting I can do. I'm aware that I said earlier I prefer the name being engraved on, but I haven't worked out how to do that yet. So using decals and printing it is the next best thing for me at this stage. Just a little pointer, if you've got the figures with a thin base, the decal needs to be no more than about 3mm high. If it's a thicker base figure, you can go up to 4 roughly, but obviously check that yourself before you make them. I'm aware that, again, that this isn't very clear. I'll have to have a think about it before I make the decals video. because obviously I want that to be useful rather than just a mess. Okay. Prepare for the smolder. Okay, and now we've done that, we can have a look at the new name on the base, courtesy of the decal. I have used Copperplate Gothic font. Obviously you can use whatever you prefer. Polyfiller, paint, decal, simple as that. And that's it for today's video. So if you found it useful, I'd appreciate the like. Thanks for commenting and subscribing. I'll see you soon.